Hello and welcome. This is Ayana Leahy, and I am so very happy that you're here with me. Each podcast that I create for you is meant to beam light, awaken the source of your true self within you. And as you come to listen to the podcast each week, I invite you to welcome the perspective of light, that is the light of universal oneness. It exists in all of us. It doesn't matter what country we live in, religious beliefs we hold, spiritual practices that we do, the wounds that we have, our gender, the color of our skin. The light shines brightly within us. And in today's podcast of Be One, Be You, may the light beam brightly upon you as we dive into the theme, how to know when you follow your ego. Your ego will do anything to make you dependent upon it. It is the biggest codependency perpetrator on the planet. It will make you follow your greatest fears, your greatest sadness, the hopes and the expectations, the plans that you have when they don't meet up to what you're really wanting, when you feel as though you cannot fulfill the ache that happens when you're not able to bring who you are fully into manifestation and you don't know why. And you might find yourself trying this meditation practice or handing things over to God. But the questions that I have for you: are you aware when you take back to God what you've given? Why do you take it back? How does it feel to be helpless? How does it feel to be hopeless? Because no matter what you think you're doing, it's not working. How do you discern who's really running your life? Is it the victim you who's been disappointed, and no matter what you ever did as a child, you couldn't change what was going on in your family structure? Who are you listening to? What circuit is plugged in to yourself? Are you really totally plugged in to the you that exists behind, below, inside of your wound? We all have wounds. Do you take the time to really love the wound, to let it be physical, to allow the pain and the hurt to come through you all the way? Or do you control the level in which you're going to go in? Or when you move into your deepest inner pain and your hurt, that will usually feel and look like you feeling like a victim, meaning the effect of a person or a situation. When you go in there, can you really let go into the pain but still look for the light inside of you? When you're holding on and still controlling means that you're not really willing, ready, or wanting to end your relationship with feeling helpless, feeling in pain, and that moving through your pain is going to create a future of unknowns that scare the living bejeebies out of you. When you follow your ego, It means that one day you can have an incredible moment with God. You could be at a bonfire, at a full moon bonfire, or camping, and just feel so connected. And then the next day, you drop into hell inside of yourself, and you don't know why, because you think you're doing all the right things. You're trying to do all the right things, but whatever that situation is for you, where you are doing everything you can to align to the higher you, the higher level, but still things fall out. I want to ask you, what are you afraid of? Because what's happening is, from what I see in many individuals, men and women right now, they're drawing to them the very emotions in life situations that they're most afraid of. Because the connection to your ego is more natural than your breath. Your ego is created by not breathing. Undoing your ego means that you're breathing. When you follow your ego, when you are empowering your ego you, it's the you with the latest, greatest new idea in order to help get you out of feeling uncomfortable in yourself, to bypass something not working out in your life, bypass a lot of things that are not working out in your life. To feel something doesn't mean you're healing it. So when you're feeling something and it may not feel very good, you've already implored your ego to be the one to step in to make sure you don't fall apart, or that you're not too deeply hurt, or that you have something to fall back into. Ego will always draw to it the next best new solution, idea, or opportunity to keep you a victim to it. Because if you're not the role that your original creation with your ego self that you created, when you begin to grow out of it, the stronger that voice is, the stronger the patriarchal voice that wants to hold you down, the more agony you're going to feel. You won't know it's your ego because it feels like yourself. It could feel like a loving parent. It could feel familiar. It could feel so familiar that you get used to being guided to the wrong situations because deep inside of yourself you believe that you don't deserve to really succeed, to have what you really want. No matter who is cheering you on, and if you're a person who's cheering on a friend or a lover, and they will not change, they will still use that as a reason to give up. And when you give up, you may not know why, or when you're close to giving up, it's always because you can't fight your ego. It is so crafty and so shrewd and so manipulating that it gives you a sense of self. So to die through and into your ego means that you have to let go of how you survive and how you identify yourself and what you identify yourself as being. We are all in a death process at this time, and many of us experience anxiety and grief and fears that we don't know where they're coming from. in order to move through these challenges that are coming up, we have to learn the voice, know the difference, learn the voice, know the voice of the part of yourself that you have employed to help you succeed, help you to function in a world that perhaps you're not that comfortable functioning in, to face how you prop up your intellect, to understand that at this time the intellect is being cracked apart. You can't just make it through. Depending upon your intellect, your heart center, the doorway, the gateway into your soul is being cracked open. So how you choose to be in relationship to pain, when you come into pain, whether your partner, a healer, a therapist, a dear friend points something out to you, even time and time again, and you still don't get it, and you start really believing that you are a complete failure, know that how you are engaging in your life, how you're navigating your life, how are you pushing it? How are you making it happen? For those of you who are trying to keep a relationship together, keep a situation together, but it's slipping between your fingers because the person that you're involved with, engaging with, and possibly dearly love hasn't yet died to themselves. They go halfway, and soon as they're in that zone where there's no control, where they are either going to die, mentally or emotional die, a death process, and they don't feel like they could make it through, they're terrified that really God is there, that that source of the light that you are is meant to take the place of your ego self. And time again, the universe, the Godhead, the God state of divine truth is trying to get you through the doorway of your own panic and fear, screaming, no, I'm not ready to go there. But this time on earth is the time. And as you complain and moan and groan and give up and shut down and not tell your partner, your lover, your friend what you need, but you're so used to suffering on your own because you do not feel that you deserve the support, that you even want the support. It's a big come to God moment. How do you know when you're following your ego? Well, you give up and you proclaim that you don't have what it takes to keep going. Now, I know those of you who feel that, or if you know someone who's been there, you really believe it. I'd rather go be alone. It won't hurt so much, or I won't hurt another person. Because deep inside there are the core beliefs that you are responsible for someone else's pain. But you're in so much pain in yourself because you have martyred yourself. You've left yourself. And men in particular are trained to be great martyrs and to not know how to interact with the crying, screaming inner child who's saying, enough already. Okay, you're not meeting your financial goals. You're not meeting your career expectations and desires. But look at me. Let me live. Let me live. Let me come through into your body. Let me take up space. But you know you're in your ego when you make 10 steps forward and 12 steps back. And then you're in the same place again because you keep repeating the same forward, backward in order to get you right into the moment where you stop everything and you pay attention and you're willing to see how you empower the you who keeps you prisoner, and you keep repeating the same mistakes, the same lessons. You actually even then create new money-making situations, new business interactions. You end up at the end of a relationship saying the same thing, I need to go so I stop putting you in pain. Deep inside, you still carry the responsibility of you thinking you caused someone else's pain. And then you sidetracking your own life, following the ego voice a year ago, 10 years ago, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago. And now is the time to awaken. How do you awaken? You have to be willing to realize, to recognize even just a little teeny bit of acknowledgement that you're following the wrong actions. And to realize that it is okay to stop, but to do it with love, and to pay attention, to not strike out, because you'll say something to end someone's trust in you, to end your relationship, a work situation, an opportunity that life has given you to shift, to die into yourself. For those of you who have Scorpio in your chart, a lot of it or a little, your sun, your rising sign, your moon, I want to invite you to truly pay attention that learning how to die into yourself, learning how to die means that you move through your own thought processes that are created through the control part of your mind, and that unless you fulfill what it sets up, you're a failure. And if you believe you're a failure, or deserve to be a failure, or meant to be a failure, or most powerful example is that you want to stay a failure, because then you can proclaim to yourself that the light that you are isn't strong enough to withstand, walk through the fire, the flames of life that truly is a meeting point in time and space between you and your false self. And if you feel as though you're not strong enough or able to meet the true you, that's when you know that your ego has been given the right and the permission to run you, because your true self is unstoppable. It's not about how hard you work. That's workaholism. It's not about how much you put aside to attain a goal. That's obsessiveness. How much are you willing to receive the existing love that is the fuel, the spark, the true intelligence, and begin to align your life to it, him, or her. I invite you to know who you're serving with inside of yourself, and that when you go in deep, don't stop until you find the joy. If you go in to do any level of healing and you have not found the joy, it means you have not gone all the way in. And to go in means that you have to trust the source of divine love that is within you, and God itself pouring its light into you. And I'm sure there's someone who's been placed in your life who's there trying to show you the way through the ways that you hold on and are attached. Know, Divine Mother, the Mother of Life, is holding you, no matter how hard or difficult or challenging moments in your life may be or become, and that Father God, in its rays of bright light, are beaming into you to help dissolve the pain that you've created, trying to survive being separate from the one that's within you, not in your head, but within your body. And I invite you to find that one light, that one source that's within you, and you will immediately feel greater strength. It's time to end how you separate from the source of divine love, divine intelligence, divine power, divine knowingness, and divine bliss that's within you, holding you in love, sending you love. Thank you so much for joining me in this very powerful topic, and know that you have everything inside of yourself to make it through to the next step in your life. You just have to slow down and let go to find it. This is Ayana Lahi. Looking forward to sharing with you more. Feel free to go to my website, see my latest offerings and courses and programs, trainings, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to receive latest updates with everything available and to receive the free gift of living from your wild heart. Much love to you. Have a great week.